Now on CoastTV News.
Overdose deaths falling. While there's a lot more work to do, it's the first time this has happened in Delaware in 10 years.
Beach trash, the rules for refuse on the sandy coast, how you can help make a difference.
It looks like we had those hailstorms that dropped in several locations. We have some video and some reports to share with you. That's sort of an odd situation.
No label, no candidate. The bid for a bipartisan third-party ticket challenge to Biden and Trump sputters out.
Scam alert for Delmarva, what deputies want you to know so you don't give away your hard-earned money.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Hailstorm, more wicked weather today on Delmarva, leaving us all to wonder when we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled beach life. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Mallory Metzner. Welcome to our News at 11. We begin tonight by taking a live look outside into Milford. We did hear that hail coming down on our roof here in Milton, so let's check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams, who joins us now with a look at our weather. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening. I want to thank you for getting that for me, by the way, Mallory. And also, not only did we have hail that was reported throughout Milton that we verified right there with the video, but we also had some other hail that reported throughout Lewis. Now, Lewis, right now, we have very windy conditions. You see that shaking that's happening right now? It's very breezy. That wind is the truth. Step outside and you'll understand what I'm saying. That wind is the truth right now. But let's take a look at some of the reports. We actually had hail reported covering the ground. They were like about ½ inch in diameter. So we had a penny-sized hail that was pretty prominent, actually, along that same path. Now, when you begin to kind of pull back out, we had hail also reported well to our north, throughout the most northern tip of the state. But we may have a few more reports that may kind of fall in here a little bit later on, thanks to, media reports and all of that. But overall, we're starting to see the precipitation in general die down and the cold air step in a major way for us. Now, we still have concern for the possibility of flooding for a coastal flood advisory for us in Sussex till 2 o'clock in the morning for Friday, and also for Dorchester, Somerset, and Wacomico until 3 o'clock in the morning. But the winds are still going to be howling and making it feel real cold along the shore, with the last remnants of this rain penduluming its way out into the deeper waters. Now, coming up, we'll talk more about when we will finally start feeling a little more warm and fuzzy with the springtime weather, because it's not happening tonight or tomorrow. Mallory.
Hey, Paul, new tonight, a homeowner claims that their house was struck by lightning during those thunderstorms you probably heard earlier this evening. Take a look at this video on your screen. You can see a huge emergency response lined up outside of the Schofield community on Gills Neck Road in Lewis. Firefighters from Milton, Lewis, Rehoboth Beach, and Indian River were all on scene. Details are still sparse, but the Lewis Fire Department confirms to Coast TV that a house on Show Jumper Lane did sustain damage. No injuries were reported. This is now being investigated by the state fire marshal.
Also new tonight, we now have an updated timetable on when the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers believes they're going to be able to reopen the Fort McHenry Channel after the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Now remember, this is still a tentative timeline, but the Army Corps of Engineers thinks that they can open a limited access channel within the next 4 weeks. That channel should be 280 feet wide, 35 feet deep. They would only be able to get one-way traffic in and out of the port, so it's still going to be slow going, but they hope to have a larger channel open by the end of May, and that would get things back to normal capacity. Maryland Governor Wes Moore releasing a statement tonight after the news was announced. Governor Moore saying in part, quote, "We and our partners across all levels of government have been pushing for a timeline, and now we have a target. We must do everything to meet that target." In related news, President Joe Biden now expected to take an aerial tour of the wreckage of the bridge on Friday. He's then scheduled to take part in an operational briefing, address the media, and then meet with the families of the 6 victims who were killed in the bridge collapse.
Imagine taking a nice walk on the beach and all of a sudden you see a pile of trash in the sand. Well, unfortunately, in Rehoboth, near Deauville Beach, that is the sad reality. Denrec actually removed trash cans from state parks in the 90s, saving them $55,000, instead introducing a carry-in, carry-out program, meaning whatever you bring onto the beach, you must take home with you. According to state code, a person found guilty of littering could be fined up to $75. One beachgoer says throwing your trash away doesn't just help the beach's appearance.
Oh wow, it's so important for so many reasons. For the beauty, of course, and also for our marine wildlife. It affects them incredibly a lot.
In order to keep our beaches trash-free, the Surfrider Foundation hosts monthly beach cleanups. It also monitors beaches throughout the foundation's cleanup database. This data helps the foundation advocate for laws and policies to keep beach communities clean.
And this is going to bring us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what will combat beach trash? Let's take a look at the results.
Looking at the screen here, so far, the majority, 59%, say those stricter penalties. 35% say more trash bins. As you know, we just said the state parks have the carry-in, carry-out policy.
Now, if you haven't voted yet, easy to do. Go to CoastTV.com or use our Coast TV mobile app.
I'm Madeline Overturf, and here's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. Follow me on this one. A Cambridge man was arrested after police say he attacked people with a machete in a hospital parking lot. Yeah, Cambridge police say it happened at Cambridge Plaza. According to officers, the man attacked another man and his car with the weapon, stole keys from a woman as well. He was caught on hospital camera and later arrested. Routes were modified on Washington Street at Maces Lane and Rigby Avenue today. Maryland Transportation Authorities installing an all-way stop at the intersection. Wicomico County sheriffs say a scammer is impersonating them. Police say the scammer tells the victim they owe money and they'll end up in jail if they don't pay. Wicomico County sheriffs say they will never call someone and demand money over the phone. That's just not what they do. If that happens to you, it's definitely a scam. That's a look at some of the things happening across Delmarva. I'm Madeline Overturf.
Overdose deaths in Delaware have decreased for the first time in a decade. According to the Delaware Division of Forensic Science, we saw 527 accidental drug overdose deaths in 2023, which is a drop of 1.8% from the previous year. Director John Evans is hopeful that with current partnerships, increased awareness, and prevention initiatives, we will continue to make progress.
President Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu speaking today for the first time since an Israeli airstrike killed 7 aid workers in Gaza. The conversation adding to the already tense relationship between the two leaders, and new today, President Biden calling for an immediate ceasefire and assurances that Israeli forces will not target civilians and aid workers.
President Biden speaking today with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, calling the Israeli airstrike that killed 7 World Central Kitchen aid workers in Gaza unacceptable. Secretary of State Antony Blinken saying President Biden pressed for concrete actions
to address civilian harm, humanitarian suffering, and the safety of aid workers.
Appearing to condition future U.S. support for the war in Gaza on Israel's next steps.
If we don't see the changes that we need to see, there'll be changes in our own policy.
Among the aid workers killed, 33-year-old American-Canadian Jacob Flickinger, who leaves behind a baby boy and a heartbroken family.
We've lost our only son, but we're only 2. There are thousands and thousands. There are
parents sharing their grief with the multitudes in Gaza who've lost loved ones, and with World Central Kitchen founder Chef Jose Andres.
Some of the people that died were my friends, and I served with them.
Chef Andres is calling for an independent investigation about what happened when Israeli forces opened fire on a clearly marked aid convoy.
They were targeted systematically, car by car.
Israel says a preliminary review found the vehicles were misidentified in the dark of night, calling it a tragic mistake.
It shouldn't have happened.
The raw emotions surrounding the deaths and added strain on Palestinian civilians as humanitarian groups pause desperately needed food assistance, compounding the political pressure to find solutions. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
With that story in mind, Delaware Senator Chris Coons was on CNN today making the case for conditions on aid to Israel.
I think we're at the point where President Biden has said, and I have said, and others have said, if Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister, were to order the IDF into Rafah at scale, they were to drop 1,000-pound bombs and send in a battalion to go after Hamas and make no provision for civilians or for humanitarian aid, that I would vote to condition aid to Israel.
Moving to the race for the White House, No Labels, a bipartisan group working toward putting together a viable third-party presidential ticket, is ending their 2024 campaign. The group's CEO announced an end to their efforts in a statement today, saying that there was not a credible path to winning the White House. The group was spurned by at least a dozen candidates during its recruitment efforts. No Labels leadership says they will remain engaged in the 2024 election and will continue to advocate for, quote, America's common sense majority. Wait until you hear this. A Greenwood man, 63-year-old Raf Kahal, was arrested for felony DUI. But it's the details that stand out here. According to troopers, he had a fake registration plate. When troopers tried to pull him over, he took off, speeding so fast that police eventually stopped chasing him for safety. But a short time later, troopers caught up to Kahal after he crashed into a tree on Statenville Road. Yet again, he tried to escape into the woods, but was ultimately caught and arrested. He has 5 previous DUI convictions, now facing a 6th, along with other charges associated with his attempt to get away.
In regional news, this is new at 11. A suspect has been identified in a shots fired investigation near Kent County Family Court. We now know a 68-year-old Dover man fired a gun inside his own vehicle towards another man before driving away. Delaware Capitol Police say that nobody was hurt and that corp operations were not impacted. However, the suspect's car was spotted by police in Annapolis. Officers then initiated a traffic stop, during which the man shot and killed himself. We are just getting started this evening.
Protecting pets during Monday's eclipse, why animal behavior specialists say farm animals and pets may act differently during the celestial event.
And with so many changes with our forecast, we want to remind you about our weather line. Your forecast is just a call away, sponsored by Baird, Mandalas, Brogstead, and Federico.
And next, Spotlight on Milford, a new documentary film, looks at the history of integration in the city. We're going to be back in just 60 seconds.
Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at the Waikamaco Civic Center. Browse the largest display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, and swim spas in the region, with over 30 spas from 5 major brands at up to 50% off. That's this weekend at the Waikamaco Civic Center in Salisbury. Visit hottubmd.com.
Transform your bathroom into a haven of luxury with Baths by Spicer Brothers. Call today for your free consultation. We'll work around your hectic schedule with evening, Saturday, and even same-day appointments available.
And right now, receive 50% off installation, a free shower door upgrade, and a free deluxe shower head. Plus, enjoy your new shower now and pay later with no interest and no payments for 18 months.
With Baths by Spicer Brothers, quality is our promise, and your satisfaction is our guarantee. So before you sign, keep Baths by Spicer Brothers in mind.
Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at the Waikamaco Civic Center. Browse over 30 hot tubs and swim spas from 5 major brands at up to 50% off. Financing is available and show admission is free. That's this weekend at the Waikamaco Civic Center in Salisbury. Visit hottubmd.com.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Here's a sneak peek on what is coming Saturday. The Milford Museum is going to host the premiere of a film all about Milford history. The 302 Productions documentary, it highlights the struggle that the city faced when integrating students way back in 1954. Thomas Summers with the Milford Museum says the film is a culmination of historians and locals who lived through the events, including Summers' own mother. Summers hopes that the film will shed light on the significance of this time in Milford's history.
I think people are going to be very interested in seeing a lot of familiar faces actually in the film itself, because it's a part of American history, but it's also a huge part of Milford history, and it's very personable.
The film will premiere at the Milford Library at 1 p.m. on Saturday.
Millions of people are anxiously awaiting for Monday's big eclipse.
We've done a number of stories about this week, about how you can stay safe, protect your eyes when that big moment happens.
But how will the celestial event affect our pets and furry friends? Laura Meter reports.
It's a normal day out here now, but on Monday at eclipse time, it will be much different out here. Christina Hare doesn't expect her dog to notice, but they won't be out here walking during it.
I'm not really concerned because she does sleep really well during the night, so I don't think it'll throw her off too much. She might have a nap, and I'll make sure to maybe not take her outside during that time.
Specialists in animal behavior say an eclipse can cause pets or farm animals to act differently, especially if they're already nervous.
This could set them off just a little bit. The big response that is reported is one of nonspecific fear or anxiety, simply because this is so uncertain.
Dr. Karen Overall says animals often act as they would at nighttime, but they might also think it's a storm, which could be stressful. For larger animals, having some kind of shelter or a barn can help. Trainers at this Charlottetown track plan to keep their horses in the barn, which is also a darker environment.
I don't really know if it would harm them or not, but to be on the safe side, just keep them in the barn and just when it kind of passes in, then kind of go about your everyday thing pretty well.
Miles Heffernan says it makes sense to protect human and animal eyes, and vets agree.
There are people who will have goggles for their dog.
This veterinarian says it is harder to control larger animals, but pets should be kept inside if they're at risk of looking at the sun.
Some animals are far more sensitive to different types of light than we are. So, you'd want to be a little careful there.
In the past, researchers have reported birds gathering on the ground and looking at the eclipse, and some primate animals in zoos have pointed at it, and cows have thought it's milking time. Experts say it's good to plan ahead to keep animals safe.
We also want to remind you that we have a special QR code that's been designed so that you can get the most out of your opportunity to view the solar eclipse. Just pull out your phone and put it on camera and scan the QR code right here. You get the latest information. The solar eclipse is within 4 days, and we're expected to stay within the 80 to 90 percentile range to see. It's going to probably look close to this right here. Not quite perfect at 100%, but we're in a really good vantage point. Our Spicer Brothers camera in Salisbury, we're at 43 degrees right now. Temperatures will stay in the 40s and we will be clear. Live radar, we're seeing the rain dying out very quickly, which is good. Coastal flood advisory active until 2 o'clock Friday morning for Sussex, but also for Dorchester, Somerset, and Wacomico, where it's going to expire at 3 a.m. for the folks there. We also have the small craft advisory that will stay active until Friday evening. It's really cold outside because of the wind, because of the directions, and because of the fierceness of the rain in the first place. But it's just cold all over, so you really, really need to bundle up. As I said earlier, this cold is the truth. It's not Chicago wind, but it's trying. We have the cold front that's actually to our northwest, and so that's where we're going to have the origin of that cold air that's coming out of the northwest. Now, that's why for the evening checklist, you need long sleeves, a hat, and a warm beverage. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Don't worry about the umbrella. We don't need that for tonight. Temps are in the 40s right now, but we're 10 degrees cooler than we were 24 hours ago in Salisbury. Yet more information and evidence of the chill in the air. The winds are only moving about 5 to even 13 miles per hour. But as we go into our expectation, we're looking for it to feel like 36 on Friday. It's going to feel like 33 on Saturday and back to 34 on Sunday. So for the next 2 or 3 days, well, and 37 on Monday, by the way, for the next few days in a row, it's going to be that kind of cold outside. But if you just got to get outside and hike, we will have dry conditions. We'll only warm to about 52 degrees for your hiking forecast, but at least we're not worried about a great deal of precipitation this time around. You see, Friday morning, we start off in the upper 30s, but we see a few sprinkles possible on Friday afternoon. Not that big a deal. Saturday, we start off in the mid-30s and a few sprinkles possible there, but that's typical for us for the spring kind of like of a pattern. But it's the winds, man. We're looking at winds out of the west at about 31 miles per hour for Friday, and then 33 miles per hour for us on Saturday, and then pouring out of the north on Sunday, but still at about a decent clip at 20 miles per hour there, so the chill is there. Here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling Extended Forecast. For Monday, for viewing, we're looking at 61. Then we jump by a wonderful, beautiful spring. 71 degrees Tuesday and Wednesday.
Thank you. Paul, looking forward to those 70s. Mark this on your viewing calendar. Monday, April 8th, we will have live coverage with NBC News of the eclipse. Beginning at 2 p.m., Lester Holt will anchor the 2-hour special Total Eclipse 2024. It will feature over a dozen reporters from all over the U.S. Again, that is Total Eclipse 2024. Our live coverage on Monday starts at 2. Coming up next, Rehoboth Traffic Study, the plan's one engineering group will be presenting to improve safety, parking, and more in the downtown area.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Thank you for calling Coastal Comfort.
This is a complimentary call. A couple of years ago, I had my heat pumps replaced. Last night, I noticed one of them wasn't working right. Somebody was out here within a couple of hours, and it's working perfectly. I was in the service industry for 33 years. Good service is something you can't find today. It very much is appreciated. Your crew is a good crew. Really fine people are professional and they're efficient.
Coastal Comfort, a Carrier factory authorized dealer.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Here at Delaware Electric Cooperative, we don't have customers, we have members. Those we power own the cooperative and are entitled to all of its profits. Because we're a not-for-profit, we are focused on service. That's why our electric rates are the lowest in the region and why our employee family continues to achieve record reliability. Like the farmers who founded our co-op in the 1930s, we believe everyone is entitled to quality electric service. Member built, member owned. That's the DEC difference.
Stay ahead of our ever-changing coastal climate with the CoastTV First Alert Weather Team. Our team is always at work to deliver the accurate forecasts you need. With us, the weather is more than a forecast. It's a part of life.
Next, Drew.
An entire half hour with Guy Fieri.
What kind of hot mess did I get into?
Friday at noon on CoastTV.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
In Rehoboth Beach, everybody knows how hard it can be to find parking spots or even just get around during the busy season. We're looking ahead to an upcoming presentation by engineering firm The Rossi Group, who's going to be in front of city commissioners next week. This happens on April 8th. They'll outline what they learned from their traffic and transportation study with short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals for Rehoboth. The study aims to address traffic, safety, congestion, and parking issues. Some of the recommendations from the group, they've already been put into action, including making 30-minute parking spots a little more noticeable. In May, the city plans on running a pilot program on King Charles Avenue for pedestrian safety. That's going to add temporary crosswalks and space for people to stop in the middle of the road before crossing.
I think we definitely need to do something about the traffic flow here, especially in downtown Rehoboth. I mean, people are jaywalking, they're cutting across behind cars. We've got the trucks that are stopping on the side of the road, cars are swinging out. Somebody's going to get hit and somebody's going to get hurt.
More of the midterm and long-term goals are going to be presented next week, including biking and safety campaigns, road signage, a digital parking system, and even a feasibility study for a parking garage.
Rough week? Cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV. You can subscribe to the Coast TV Feel Good Friday newsletter for free at coasttv.com/signup or by scanning the QR code that's on your screen right now. The newsletter has personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more, all sent straight to your inbox every Friday morning.
Speaking of good news, coming up in sports, a pitcher's duel in Sussex County between Sussex Tech and Smyrna.
And how one business in Ocean City is saving money with suds. Stay tuned. You're watching Coast TV News at 11.
Join Planet Fitness and get energized with fitness that fits your budget. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. All in the judgment-free zone. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, April 12th.
Not happy with your utility bill? Help save energy by replacing your outdated, inefficient windows. At Spicer Brothers, we install new replacement windows and new construction series windows, built for extreme weather and high energy efficiency. And quality installation is just as important as the window itself.
And you can have peace of mind on your new windows with the Spicer Brothers Platinum Plus lifetime warranty.
And right now, buy 2 windows and get 1 free. Plus, no interest and no payments for 18 months. Spicer Brothers, because you deserve the best.
Toyota is going all wheels in with fantastic deals on thousands of in-stock Toyotas ready for delivery. So visit your local dealer today for a great selection of front, 4, and all-wheel drive vehicles. Right now, get low 4.75% APR on a sporty Camry or stylish Corolla. Get fantastic deals when you go all wheels in on your new Toyota. Let's go places.
Charmed by Lewis.
Visit our unique shops and restaurants. Conversation Piece Jewelers, where every piece sparks a conversation. From engagements to milestone pieces that make a statement. Try us again for the first time. Detox, sculpt, and renew at Naturally Well with lymphatic drainage treatments, infrared sauna pod, red light therapy, and spray tanning.
Sticky Rice Serving Small Plate Authentic Thai Tapas. Open for dine-in and carry-out. Located in Lewis Plaza Shopping Center.
Come explore.
Historic Lewis.
My daughter was beginning to struggle with substance use disorder. Felt like somebody cut my heart out. Her dream was to open a house to help other women recover. When we do our groundbreaking, I hear like at 6:30 in the morning. Nobody's here except one guy in a suit walking through the field. He says, Kevin, David Trone, nice to meet you. For every person who is suffering from substance use disorder, there is no bigger champion.
I'm David Trone, and I approve this message.
Join Planet Fitness and get energized with fitness that fits your budget. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. All in the judgment-free zone. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, April 12th.
With prices rising just about everywhere, people and businesses have to think of different ways to save money.
CoastTV News reporter Kevin Zappé shows us how one business in Ocean City is bringing home the bacon grease.
The Sunrise Diner has been turning bacon grease into their very own soap. And vacationer Brian Jackson only has one question on his mind.
Does it taste good?
Although it's not edible, you can use this soap for your hands, body, and even face. The Sunrise owner, Sam DeLauder, has been turning bacon grease into soap bars for over 2 years. And he says it's been saving him big time.
So pretty much 80% of the bacon cost is just cut out now. I barely pay for bacon. With the price increases of like 30%, that kind of just got down. Because when people buy the soap, it offsets that.
DeLauder thought of this idea thanks to his grandparents, who used this recipe to save money during the Great Depression. Not only does the soap save money for the business, but it's also good for the environment.
Every year we save about 1,000 pounds of it from going in the landfill, so there's a sustainability aspect as well. And like I said, even our coffee grounds go into it.
Michelle Jackson is looking forward to buying some bacon grease soap.
He's from a very big family, and they're very hard to buy for because they have everything.
Yeah.
So I bet you this is one thing they wouldn't have.
To make this soap, DeLauder first starts by mixing the bacon grease with water. This will cause the bacon grease to rise to the top, while everything else floats to the bottom. After leaving it in the fridge overnight, DeLauder comes back to see a thick layer above, which is 100% lard. He then adds lye to make the soap, then kaolin clay to help it thicken and stay in place. Once it is poured into the container, they let it harden for 2 days before cutting that batch, making a total of 10 bars of soap. The Sunrise Diner plans to sell all 3,000 bars of soap they plan to make in the summer. I'm Kevin Zappé in Ocean City, CoastTV News.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studio.
The rain is finally gone, which means an old-fashioned pitcher's duel can return in the Henlopen. Earlier today, the Smyrna Eagles and Sussex Tech Ravens faced off, but only one bird could fly high by the end of it. It was a low-scoring affair thanks to some talented hurlers on the mound like Jeremy Vest. He went 7 innings of one-hit ball, allowing no runs and striking out 8. The Delaware State commit was cruising through this one, but the Ravens offense offense was the one that broke the seal first. Gavin Hudson smashing a solo home run to deep left center field in the fourth to break a scoreless tie, giving Sussex Tech a lead they would never relinquish. But some insurance, that never hurt anyone either. Fifth inning, same score. Kobe Tinley comes in to score the second run of the game on a wild pitch. Ravens ahead by 2, and that score would hold as the final. Sussex Tech improves to 4-0 following the 2-0 victory. Earlier today, the Philadelphia Eagles signed left tackle Jordan Mailata to a 3-year, $66 million extension to keep the former rugby star in midnight green through the 2028 season. He'll remain a steady force on the left side of the Eagles line, and this deal aligns the former 7th-round pick with quarterback Jalen Hurts, who is also signed through the 2028 season. Mailata joins fellow O-lineman Landon Dickerson as the two Eagles to sign an extension this offseason. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, everyone.
Take your favorite radio station with you wherever you go. Download free today.
They're breaded in spicy tempura and made with cayenne. But most importantly, they're back.
Plus a hot new deal. 2 orders of 10-piece McNuggets for $6. Spicy or classic.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Some people will stop at nothing to get your stuff. Get solid security and protect yourself from theft, fire, and accidents with American-made Rhino at Southern States in Milford. Experience peace of mind with financing available when you buy local from the only Rhino dealer on Delmarva. They'll deliver and set it up for you too. Ask about Rhino's Thank You for Your Service rebate program. Protect your stuff with Rhino. Everything else is just storage. Securing Delmarva one safe at a time. Southern States of Milford.
20 years ago, Farmers Bank of Willers opened branches to serve Ocean City and West OC. Now, we're making it official with permanent locations to better serve our customers in Worcester County. While other banks are closing branches, we're banking on Ocean City's future. Sure, we have a world-class app, but sometimes there's no substitute for helpful, friendly people. Announcing our grand opening on 87th Street, North Ocean City, and coming in 2024, West OC on Route 611. Switch to the Farmers Bank of Willers, where people matter.
Our soldiers are heroes who protect our country. But when they come home, it's up to us to help our heroes. Now, during FH First Spring Into Giving campaign, for every $29 cooling system tune-up we perform, we'll donate that amount directly to Wounded Warrior Project. FH Fur Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical. Call 877-CALL-FUR or visit FHFur.com to schedule your $29 cooling system tune-up. And use hashtag SpringIntoGiving to share how you're giving back.
Hey moms, you know those unforgettable face palms? Those moments that leave us both laughing and sighing. They're not just mishaps, there are shared stories. Share your unique mom moments with us. Go to coastlife.com/mom.
On the next wheel.
I am married to my unicorn husband.
What uniform is your husband?
Unicorn.
I just almost thanked a unicorn for his service.
Friday at 7 on CoastTV.
This is your reminder to thank the friend who gets McDonald's breakfast for the group while everyone else sleeps in.
Get the sausage McMuffin with egg for $2.79 and an iced coffee for just 99 cents.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We talk about jobs a lot in our newscast, but this one I might actually apply for if I wasn't already, gainfully employed. Hormel Foods looking for 3 peanutters to chauffeur Mr. Peanut across America in the Nutmobile. Full-time jobs run from June 2024 to June 2025. The company looking for college graduates with a bachelor's degree in marketing, communication, advertising, or again, marketing.
Yeah, you'd have to be kind of nutty to do that. Anyway, let's take a look at our UV index. It's sponsored by Ocean City. Once again, we're looking at it staying at 6 to 7, so we're going to see a little more in the way of sunshine tomorrow, but still going to be a bit on the chilly side. Our umbrella giveaway winner is actually John Neal. Congratulations from Chincoteague. And our Orsted camera in West OC, we're holding at 47 degrees. Winds are out of the west at 7 miles per hour. Temperatures will stay in the mid-40s. Finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. We're looking at 54, 55, and 55 for the next 3 days. But look at these morning temperatures in the 30s. Yikes. But for big time day for our eclipse, we're looking at 61 degrees, a little bit warmer, and then 10 degrees warmer than that afterwards.
I really like the 70s that are on that list. Yeah, let's move that where it needs to be. Thanks for joining us for Coast TV News at 11. For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.